All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans. This is going to be an extremely fun team to watch this upcoming season and for many years to come. CJ Stroud in his preseason finale, although he only played 2 drives, he showed me exactly what I wanted to see heading into the regular season. They're going to build off of that momentum. CJ looked like at Ohio State in that preseason finale. He looked super comfortable. He looked the most comfortable I have seen him in a Texans uniform. That ball it had zip, it had pop, but more importantly, it was precise. And that's what CJ Stroud does so well. He is a very accurate passer. We saw that at Ohio State. He had a completion percentage of 69.3% in his 2 years at Ohio State. In his final year, 41 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. We know CJ Stroud can ball, and we saw it put together in that preseason game. And when we take a look at the Texans roster on offense, there is pop, man. They are going to have some electric plays. They're going to have some really impressive highlight reels at the very least this upcoming season. You got Nico Collins entering year 3. If Nico Collins is healthy, this will be 100% the year that he establishes himself as a rising breakout star in this league. You have your savvy veteran in Robert Woods, reliable target, and then you also have a relatively, not necessarily a veteran in Noah Brown, but you have a guy who has been around the league for several seasons. He's been with Dallas for the last 5 years. This is a guy coming off a career year, over 500 receptions for the Dallas Cowboys this past season. And then you have new rookies, guys like Tank Dell, John Mechie III, Xavier Hutchinson, new addition at tight end, and Dalton Schultz. This offense has pop, baby, and that's what we're going to talk about in tonight's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Texans videos, let me know down below. I love my H-Town family. I was just there actually this past week. Fortunately, I did get the flu, but nonetheless, I love the city of Houston. I can't wait to cover this team in the upcoming year. So, CJ Stroud, baby. CJ freaking Stroud. All right, he's a rookie. And rookies make mistakes. And CJ Stroud is going to make a lot of mistakes in his rookie season, as once again, all rookies do. But keep in mind, by the end of the season, things are going to be clicking, baby. Things are 100% going to be clicking. And when you take a look at the targets that he has around him, and I actually want to start off with not necessarily the number one guy you would think of as a target, but Dameon Pierce is a freaking stud. This was the 4th round pick last year out of Florida. He had a really impressive rookie season that unfortunately just didn't get that much hype because, the Texans weren't the best football team this past season, and he missed 4 games due to an injury. But he had one of the most slept on rookie seasons I could possibly think of in the league last year. 939 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. He averaged 4.3 yards per carry, but he can also catch 30 catches, 165 yards. I expect that to be probably doubled this upcoming season with CJ Stroud as your starting quarterback. But Dameon Pierce, we saw it in preseason. We saw it last season. The dude's a freaking bulldozer. The dude is literally a bulldozer. And I remember my buddy is a huge diehard Florida Gators fan. And he loves so many of these guys. He loves Florida Gator athletes. So when they first drafted Pierce, I was like, all right, is he overhyping him, or is there some bias at play here? Then you watch the tape, whether it was at Florida or his rookie season with the Houston Texans, and you're like, oh yeah, Dameon Pierce is 100% a stud. But they also have some really quality, sneaky depth in Devin Singletary coming on over from Buffalo. This is a guy who he's coming off 819 rushing yards with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, when you think of that team, you don't think of the rush attack, but they had a rushing attack. Devin Singletary has missed 1 or 2 games in the last 3 seasons. So not only is he reliable and durable, which is extremely important because you want to keep Dameon not only healthy, but you also want to keep him fresh. Devin Singletary is an extremely sneaky grab for Houston this past offseason. He can also catch the ball. He's coming off a career high 280 receiving yards. So you have a nice low-key, like extremely low-key, one of the more low-keyest running back rooms in the entire National Football League. Dameon Pierce is going to establish himself as one of the best young running backs in the National Football League this upcoming season. And right behind him is going to be Devin Singletary. So that's going to make CJ Stroud's job that much easier. And keep in mind, their left tackle position is set. That's the most important offensive line position, and they've got that taken care of. So we take a look at the receiving units for CJ Stroud, because that's I mean, it's the most important goal. Take a look at like the Chicago Bears in Justin Fields' first season. Who the hell is he throwing it to? Bunch of nobodies outside of Allen Robinson. The Texans did not make that mistake, and I got to hand it to them. They have gotten some playmakers. But more importantly, like we mentioned earlier on in the video, I love the additions of depth pieces of Noah Brown. I also love Robert Woods. I think Robert Woods on this Texans team, he's coming off a sleepy year with Tennessee. Tennessee lost their final 7 games of the regular season. Tannehill missed the end of the season. Still over 500 receiving yards for Robert Woods. So I have 2 reliable guys in Robert Woods and Noah Brown, and Dalton Schultz, new addition from the Dallas Cowboys, coming on over for CJ Stroud. And then we get into the flash. Nico Collins. We saw the touchdown. I know you guys all saw the touchdown CJ Stroud threw to him in that preseason finale. But Nico Collins is a guy where just please stay healthy. He only played 10 games this past season, but he caught 37 balls for 481 yards. He averaged about 13 yards per catch. This right here is a huge year for Nico Collins because he just has not been able to stay on the field for more than like half of, he played 14 games in his rookie season, but he was a rookie. This is a good breakout candidate, is Nico Collins. Wide receiver 1. I think this is the year he cements himself as like, yeah, I'm that dude. I'm wide receiver 1. But even if he isn't the dude, even if he isn't the star wide receiver, well, we're looking at 2 studs in Tank Dell and John Mechie III. Tank Dell was a huge standout in training camp. He's a huge fan favorite because he went to the University of Houston. In his last year at Houston, the dude was a freaking stud. 109 catches for 1,400 yards. He averaged a little under 13 yards per catch. He had 17 touchdowns. You got to surround your franchise quarterback, your young rookie quarterback that you want to be your franchise cornerstone for the next decade. You need to surround him with talent. You need to surround him with playmakers to make his job easier. And Tank Dell, and I will also say John Mechie III, the comeback story in his last year, we haven't seen him play since 2021 with Bama. 96 catches, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. These are the depth, quote unquote, I'll use the word, I'm using quotes, you guys can't see it. They're depth pieces. I mean, these are breakout candidates in their rookie seasons. And don't forget about Mr. Xavier Hutchinson. So I love the recipe that Houston has done with CJ Stroud. They've surrounded him with a decent offensive line, all right, an improving offensive line. The tight end, Dalton Schultz. You have the running back room, Dameon Pierce. You hook it up with some extra depth in Devin Singletary in case Pierce gets banged up or you just want that 2-headed monster. Both can run, they both can catch. And you've surrounded him with a bunch of playmakers with his receivers. This is a recipe for success. I don't know if the success is going to come immediately, but it will come in spurts 100%, probably more consistent at the end of the season than the start of his rookie season. But the blueprint's there. They've cooked it up. It's going to taste good. And it's going to taste good at times this upcoming season, but it might be more of a slow roast. It might be more of like a, something in a crock pot. But we're going to see flashes. We're going to take those taste tests this upcoming season. So it's a good time to be a Houston sports fan, to be quite honest with you. But that's it for tonight, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. But guys, most important part of this video, get me a win total on this Texans team down below. Thanks for watching.